Hello and welcome back, everybody, as we are reacting now to game number 1 of the day. Golden Guardians Challengers stepping up and really showing that Young's getting the better of this mid lane match. So that's what we were looking at going into the day. And yeah, the Silas kind of bodying the Azir throughout that game. Young is exciting to watch, and I think games like this beatdown are why, because he is able to just take over a game if he gets a lead.
Yeah, and the nice thing about him as a player is that he can play a lot of different ways. He can play a more supportive style with the champ pool that he has, but it's so much fun to watch him on the carries, Kang, is to watch him when you give him a bit of a gold lead and he starts to run away with the game. Like you said, he's just going for, honestly, the craziest plays. Even though a couple of times he ends up dying in those situations, he does give that space for his team for things to work out in the end. So we'll say all according to plan.
And a different take on the Silas, by the way. I just want to point that out. It was more supportive. Usually when we see Silas, we're like, oh, they have like Curse of the Sad Mummy on the other side. This is going to be awesome.
True.
Young's just going to tear him apart with that. No, it was just like, I want to move faster. As a team. I want to hold hands and skip and dominate.
Hey, he got a couple cool Azir shuffles in that game. All right, you give some respect to that. Also, Golden Guardian, that is savage. That tweet right there. Oh my goodness.
That reminds me of the Dignitas tweet.
Yeah, well, Dignitas was, I think, the opposite way, right?
Dignitas won in like 19 minutes. This is when they played, I want to say CLG.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm remembering that one.
Yeah, you were
but
there.
still, maybe a little bit of a warm-up for Golden Guardian Challengers, TSM Challengers. What did we feel about them real quick before we get into the halftime show? Beaton, I want to give this one to you also, because Dragu was piloting the Caitlyn. I think this is now something that we've seen a couple times where Caitlyn, it works out in lane, but what does it bring to the team outside of lane phase? Like, if you fall behind with this kind of comp, there's just no shot that you're going to come back.
So the way I see it is that when you pick something like that on support, you need to compensate on other parts of the draft, but they didn't really. You have the strong early game pick in the Elise. You need to snowball. The early game doesn't go well. What do you have to rely on? Yeah, sure, Sivir scales, but how do you team fight? Okay, yeah, Renekton is kind of a front line, but like there's no way these champions work together in a proper way for you to play at any stage of the game, especially if you start to fall behind. Like the only way I see winning a game with that draft is like if you just turbo stomp like early game.
Yeah, and I think kind of hammer that point, and we're actually going to play a little bit of a game here, because again, we like to have some fun while we let the players get ready for game number 2. So while we're waiting for Pick and Ban to start, we're going to play a game that a little bit inspired by some stuff we've already done, maybe a little bit inspired by some of Emily's content over on the LCS. Draw My Games. I'm about to flex a little bit of my drawing skills, because Beatdown, if we learned last week, I am excellent at drawing, and you are... You know, you leave something to be desired. Okay,
and that part is true. I'll give you that.
Are they any good as your video editing skills? Because that's a masterclass right there.
Not as good as video editing. I will say I put a little bit more effort into those generally. But we're going to share my screen here, and I'm going to draw a couple of key moments from the game, and you're going to have to guess what I am referencing with my drawing. Do you understand the rules, and are you ready to go?
I usually get slaughtered in these, but I'm going to give it my best.
Are we competing, or are we just versus
yes, absolutely you're competing. Whoever gets it first wins. Okay, all right. You ready?
Goldfish beat.
Oh, I have the wrong thing selected. We're already off to a great start. All right.
Okay. Diving top lane to get first blood on Hanser.
No, we're going to go quickly here, because... I think you got the idea there. We're gonna add angry eyes. Angry eyes. And you know, just because I'm extra, we're gonna add this. Everyone understands what this is, right?
Yes.
All right, sweet.
Yes.
This is okay. You know what? Maybe my drawing skills aren't as good as I thought they were gonna be. We're going quick.
Is this a Hecarim?
And then, boom.
Oh, Elise.
Okay.
Is this Elise Renekton?
Yeah, Elise Renekton.
Oh,
so what are you supposed to do with the Elise Renekton combo when you draft it?
I mean, dive top, first of all.
Yes, that's one. And outside of that, what's that dive top supposed to get you?
A snowball?
Absolutely. You got it right. And what happened?
The opposite. Hanser got dive top, which, you know, now that you mention it, that's kind of funny that happened. just because usually it's Elise Renekton doing the diving, and then they kind of got a dirt on them.
So this is the big problem that I had with TSM's draft is here. If we kind of like draw out the rift, right? So generally, if you draft a Renekton Elise, you're supposed to be winning this matchup. You know, up here is very important. They also drafted the Caitlyn support, which means they're trying to push bot lane and win this matchup. Well, what happens if you're trying to win both sides of the rift? Your jungler is pulled to both sides of the rift and can't do much else. And then if your top side dies and your bot side dives all the way over here and then dies, it's like, it's not working great. So yeah. I think that the map just kind of got away from TSM in a way with the draft. But now we'll move on to the next one. So actually, I'm gonna go back to that. We're gonna do this again.
Or we're bringing the rift back.
We're bringing the rift back. All right, and here, let's go with this one. Oh, I have no idea how to draw this actually.
It's like Groot.
Okay.
Is that not Groot?
Okay.
Bart Simpson.
And here we go. We're gonna try something here.
My shorts.
Okay, I think I'm conveying the point. Yeah. Oh, yes. And then over here, let's go with this.
This is the escape. This is where the Heimer barely gets away from Wild Turtle Sivir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They chased so freaking far for this.
Yeah.
TSM went like into freaking, I don't know. They went across an ocean. They went across an ocean looking for this dive, looking for this play. Concept teleports in, gets a kill off of this. And from this point, it felt like TSM Challenger were a little broken in the game. Like, once that play goes poorly, the game's pretty much over. And I think it highlights that point. They have a pushing bot lane. They have a top that wants focus with the Renekton Elise. And if they're not able to get either of those sides to win, the game is going to be very tough from that point forward.
Yeah, plus you kind of got to draft realistically in these situations where it's like you have to pick what you want to play to in the early game. But they have a draft where you call the Kangas. They need to play for both at like level 3. And you can't be in two places at once. So it's a little difficult.
All right, honestly, I think that I'm doing really good at this. I just
the
gotta
confidence
pat
is
myself
back.
on the back. I gotta pat myself on the back. I thought this was gonna go terribly, and I think everybody agrees. It's incredible. I was going to do one more, though, and it was going to be the Dragon Soul fight, but I'm here. The draft is ready, so we're not going to waste any more time because I think people would rather watch the gameplay than watch my drawing skills at this point. So with that said, I'm going to pass it over to Desworks and Beatdown to get us into game number 2.
All right, have a good one, my bald friend, as we move into game number 2. You know, I was going to make a joke because we didn't have enough time that the reason they chased the Heimer so far was the role swap. Prismal baited him, man. They thought it was the marksman, actually the support.
Why didn't I think of that, Eric? And real quick, too, I want to say, I mean, Kanga's so confident in his art skills. Why don't you tell us in chat how you feel about his artistic capability?
Please.
Surely you love it, right? And, well, I mean, I don't look at Twitch chat, but someone will.
In the process.
Yeah, you know? Be nice.
All right, we're looking for the bounce back to come out of TSM. I'm going to put a lot of this onto draft. I agree with Steve. I didn't like what they drafted and how they looked to execute it. It kind of looked like the idea was to get Sven to just get to bottom as fast as possible so they could double back for a top dive or something like that. Obviously didn't work.
Yeah, you could say that. So this time around with side swaps coming through, TSM on blue side, going to see what they prioritize here. Okay, so it's the Wukong. You immediately ban away the Elise, which, I mean, it's one of the strongest picks right now. So it's not available for Golden Guardians. But at least this time around, right off the bat, TSM actually have ways to team fight because, of course, the Cyclone is a big team fight tool.
Yeah, I love it already for TSM because with Svenskeren being on the Elise, it didn't feel that good. It didn't feel that good. It was a lot of stress on Svenskeren to make these plays early before falling behind. With Wukong, you always have the kit, you'll always have that Cyclone, but it's going to be matched against the Vi for Rosethorn. And it seems like Golden Guardians want to give a taste of TSM's own medicine. They'll grab the Caitlyn.
Surely this is Caitlyn 80 carry, though.
Surely,
I don't
right?
think... We're not going to R5. Yeah, it's fine. So we're going to see... I'm going to go ahead and figure this is Caitlyn 80 carry. Vi has been great for, I mean, a million different reasons. We all know her ult is great. Vault Breaker Flash is a great ability. And yeah, you can't fool me. It's not going to be Neela. It's going to be Varus. There you go.
There we go. We got the lock-in coming out for Wild Turtle. We'll have that Varus, and already a lot more presence in the team fight. Chain of Corruption works really well to provide a lot of zone control for TSM. So this is shaping up well, at least in a 5v5 context.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, what are we rounding out with? Okay, so it's actually going to be an early Cassante. Oh my god, like no hesitation. I mean, we've seen Young do things on this pick, and at this point, it is blinding your mid, but realistically, Kassadin very strong at this point. Very consistent ban for a lot of teams during that second ban phase, so they just don't want to take it.
I want to bring that stat back up, by the way. In the last 2 Kassadin games that Young has played, 16-1 and 18 beat.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. And at this point, now it's about what else can TSM take away to kind of help round out this composition. I mean, Ryze is technically still available if that's the pick they want to go for as well, unless we see Golden Guardians take it away. You're seeing them remove some more engage options. Not really expecting the Caitlyn support to really come through because, of course, they picked it themselves. And they're just going to remove Doxa's Zoe as well because that's something he's definitely comfortable playing.
It's a trick, man. It's a trick. TSM are falling for it. They banned out a support. The Caitlyn's the support. Called it already. It's getting locked in. No, beat. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. We saw it last game. It can happen again. Next lock-in. Concept going once again over to the Jax Willhouse. So it's going to be locked in and provides a little bit of brawling over for this top side of Golden Guardians.
And we've already seen it. That little bit of a lead coming through for Concept, and he actually ended up having a pretty good game. This matchup is, I think, a little more skill-based. So it's not going to be as easy for him with that small lead. Hauntzer has been really great on this champion. And I just want to let you know, this is Caitlyn 80 carry SRX. So it's going to be the R5 Lux. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Say what you want, Pete. Say what you want. Cope all you want. Go ahead.
Yeah?
Keep. But okay, we do got some spice coming out because Doxa is bringing out the LeBlanc. So we got a heck of a matchup being met right here. The Cassinan on one end for the assassinations. Well, let's match it. TSM, LeBlanc, Doxa. We'll see if we can make it work. Support lock-in for TSM. It's some wave push with the Karma.
It makes a lot of sense. Varus Karma, very strong bot lane. I think we're going to see a lot more bot focus this game for TSM, and it's good because at this point...
Of course, with this marksman pick, too.
Yeah, whatever. And you see in the top side, this time around, Hauntster's on a pick he's had a lot of success on. He's in situations where you can leave him alone as well, and he's going to do better. Hey, Eric, excuse me. What's up?
No. It's support Caitlyn. It's marksman Lux. Sit back down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm standing the whole time. Thank you, production. Just, my ear, just so you make sure. What were you talking about?
And I was talking about how good of a lane Caitlyn Lux is. How much...
Oh, of course. That's it. Exactly. That's what I thought you were talking about. Because it is.
Go on, Pete. Go on. I'll let you have this point.
All right, great. So, Golden Guardians Challengers. I mean, let's talk about TSM for another second.
I want to talk
much
more
better
about Kate
draft
Lux,
this game.
Okay, fine.
It's fine. We'll get to the Kate Luxy game. I promise. Okay, Eric? I know you love Kate Lux so much. TSM's comp, much better than the last game. You have a really strong bot lane, a lot of clear ways to team fight. Wonderful. I agree. LeBlanc is very spicy. You're going to be able to have opportunities to get out of lane because, I mean, you're playing into Kassadin. That's how it goes. And also, you have ways to not have to play front to back. And as long as Doxa doesn't do what a lot of LeBlancs here in North America do, which is play front to back, as long as he, cheats terrain, as we so often see LeBlanc players in other regions do, he's going to have a really good time just popping array like a balloon.
I feel like we run into the same issue that we had last game, though, where TSM, they kind of do have a ticking time bomb going on. Oh, we're going to get the fancy introduction this time.
League director.
And the main issue is Young will eventually hit level 16. That is going to be a very, very big issue that TSM are going to have to handle. Oh, we're back.
Oh, hey.
Okay, now the other casting desk.
the evil Eric can beat down.
But basically, if TSM struggle in the early game and it provides any acceleration for this Kassadin, we could have a repeat of that game one easily.
But look at Doxa. I mean, he's not here to let Young scale. He's got the Ignite. Like, he's looking for kills this game. And if Doxa is the one who gets off the ground, I think this is a better opportunity for TSM to even the series out. I mean, now looking back over on Golden Guardian's side of the map, You're going to see a lot of jungle attention on that bottom side, I think. Concept Haunter, it's going to be an isolation this time around is what I'm expecting because you have 2 bot lanes, especially on Golden Guardian side, that need a lot of attention, that needs to get ahead. Caitlyn, that champion where she's a monster. If you get her that early gold lead, those turret plates, but if not, not as big of a concern.
Now, in the last game, I believe it was Wildcard, we saw Haunter play the Sante. They had such a creative way of doing ganks on the top side. It was just the all-out into the river, and everyone was
I
in the
love
river.
that.
Like, it is beautiful. It is something that I know Haunter is very, very practiced at, and now Svenskeren and Doxa, they can roam out easily and make Concept's life hell.
Right, not just that. I'm expecting roams to the bottom side of the map as well. Svenskeren, I think top side could be because an early play or Haunter, which we have seen in a lot of different situations, or it could be just a full clear, like full clear, and then just immediately reset and walk bot.
For Rosethorn, it's clearing out at least the top side, working their way towards this bottom side, but getting spotted out by a ward in the process here. Now, what do TSM really do with that information? They know you will have pathing bot lane or Rosethorn. That's something that's going to be in mind. So Svenskeren realizes that there's going to be no Rosethorn. Maybe we can make a play here. Doesn't feel too confident given the situation just yet.
Right, you don't have the best setup, really. I think what Svenskeren's going to do now is just go for this invade here. I mean, you have this mid prio. You can go meet them at the blue buff if you want to. Oh, but Prismal, it's a good read.
Ooh, getting caught by the light binding. Rosethorn. Oh, messes up the Vault Breaker. Just barely out of range on the flash.
Still, you go flash for flash, which is something you force Svenskeren out, and you help Rosethorn just continue on his clear. I think that's really good awareness there from Prismal, because I think the ward was spotted from Doxa, but overall, just to use that information well is good. But Array, he's in trouble.
Oh, but this is a good response out of TSM. No,
Ignite.
It's thwarted. No, it will find first blood, but too far forward. It's going to be a Wild Turtle. He doesn't have flash. Looking for the chase. Rosethorn will not continue. I thought for sure Turtle was going to go down underneath that turret, but just barely out of range, Nate.
Really nice play, but look at Rosethorn. He's going to wrap around. Wild Turtle making sure this wave gets in might be his downfall. No summoners, remember.
Yeah, this is a turtle play. Draku will flash on to Prismal, taking him down. How do you get out of here, Draku? This is a tough one. Ball Breaker goes out. Bit of damage. But
Young is on the move?
Again, this is a Karma. Karma has really good base damage to take a 2v2.
Oh, wait a minute. This is big.
However, not the same case. It's going to be a far run for Draku. Same thing for Wild Turtle. Unfortunately for the bottom lane of TSM, you're not going to...
No way! No way!
The shutdown going to be found. That's a shutdown for Young.
On Kassadin. It's not Doxa who gets that first move. It's Young. And that's such a big deal. Because... look at this opportunity. Now you got that extra gold in your pocket. At this point, Young flash though.
I like this for Svenskeren. He knows the flash is down from Young. Double light binding from Prismal. No, Svenskeren doesn't have flash. Doxa can't chase. He's gonna live, Beat. He's actually gonna live. Beat. Prismal's a beast, man.
Yeah, I mean, Prismal's awareness has just been unreal this game, and has been, even though he's level 2, still has been able to have such an impact. Covering his jungler, covering his mid laner. The only problem is Array walked up a little too far forward and does get punished for it here. And honestly, I think credit Wild Turtle and Draku. I think they played it all right. Expected the wraparound, actually. So once they shove this wave, you see them threaten Prismal and then try to walk into the Tribe Crush. What they weren't expecting, Eric, was Doxa getting the wave shoved in on him, probably from a bounce back. Look at Young. Look at the Kassadin. That's what really matters here. This level 4 Kassadin making moves on the map, which is, I mean, against standard convention, but it pays off.
If you check the minimap there, Svenskeren was waiting in the river bush to get a mid lane gank going. They were trying to gank onto Young, and they didn't realize he had already left lane. Now, in the bottom lane, Draku. Oh, Wild Turtle will eat the Vault Breaker for his support. It's still not enough to save him. And now the point of attack found for Rosethorn. Let's keep focusing this bot lane.
And this is, I mean, this is it. Array is 2-1 now at this point. Those early kills from the bot lane of TSM went over to Draku. In terms of gold, Array is actually in a good position and now able to start doing what Caitlyn loves to do, collect these turret plays. You see it. 300 gold. in Array's favor, and if the plates go through, it's going to get even better as Wild Turtle has to wait for his support to come through here. And Young is hit level 6. You're seeing the gold lead he also has on Doxa, which, Eric, that's not supposed to happen. And this early game is kind of falling apart for TSM.
That was the worry leading into this. Ultimately going to be used by Hanser onto Concept. Looking to get the solo bolo. Ooh, wants it, but can't quite secure it. Concept deep strikes away. Monster still pressuring this top side, but Concept surviving the storm.
That's right. Concept actually has that Grandmaster's Might, so I was wondering if there was an outplay there, and that's why Hanser, he has teleport. He's not going to mess around with it and just walk away. And overall, you see the pressure coming through mid from Dragku to see if they can take advantage of Young's weakness in the earlier parts of the game. But now that he's 6, now that he has access to the Rift Block, it is a little harder. And you still have Prismal, Eric, who is all over the map at this point, doing a great job of just keeping Golden Guardians afloat in this early game.
Prismal is a very vocal player, has been a great shot caller for Golden Guardians, and it shows with the type of map movements that Prismal's been making. In that game 1, Heimerdinger always in the right place to get that stun grenade going. Same thing on this Lux, was able to spot out Svenskeren and catch him on his rotation. Same thing with the mid lane play. I mean, Prismal is doing so well for Golden Guardians and looking phenomenal, providing this level of leadership for the bot side.
He even expressed his desire to be that leader for the team and something he's wanted to work on this year. And we're starting to see glimpses of that really start to come to fruition here as Rosethorn, looking for a little invade, has an experience lead. So he could go for something, but decides he better not. Instead, it's a Herald play. I want to look at Svenskeren's experience bar because I want to know if clearing these top camps will get him to level 6. Because otherwise, okay, so clearing, he just got to 6. So there is a world where they fight for this Herald.
But do they want to? Prismal's already up. Okay, you do got the check coming out of Dragku. There's a chance.
Yeah, I think it's possible, especially because Young, I mean, has some good early gold, but you're still level 8 casted. You're not the biggest threat.
Oh, still going to go for it, though. Cyclone used by Svenskeren.
Hanser's here.
Still will be found by Svenskeren. Will continue the Cyclone. Batting away at the face of Rosethorn. TSM will win a team fight. The reward, Shelly, still able to secure it. Grabbing it right now, Svenskeren. Nothing much else to really follow, but TSM, they're getting a gold lead.
Right, and what are they going to be able to do with that? Concept, hat to back, is walking back, and with this wave that Hanser has on the top side, there's easily a play available here where you just drop the Herald immediately, get more gold onto this Cassante, who's already starting to get a lead for himself here, but instead, Svenskeren is backed. He's going to just use that empowered recall to get back on the map faster, and there'll still be other places for him to be able to drop Shelly.
Young is punishing Doxa time and time again for missing those tethers. It's pretty brutal. You can see right here this rotation coming out. Svenskeren trying to edge in to get that steal and barely able to net the Rift Herald over.
Yeah, but he makes it happen. It's a really good bush play. They had the pink ward already, so they knew there was no way that Golden Guardians would be able to see that coming. So they have the element of surprise. They have the recently ticked over level 6 Svenskeren. We talked about the Wukong and its great team fighting, and it's a good look. But at the moment, Golden Guardians still overall have control of this bottom side because of the lead Array's gotten. And it usually leads to Dragons as far as Caitlyn Lux lanes go here. And Dragon stacking still on the table for Golden Guardians. As I think overall, if you have Caitlyn who's ahead, and you have a Kassadin in the mid lane, this is great for Golden Guardians. Like, look at these gold differences. They're even bot. Kassadin's ahead. You're chilling.
Whoa. Look at that top side.
You're chilling.
Top side's not chilling. Hanser doesn't chill. Hanser only flexes.
Fair enough, but I think overall, you're chilling. This is, again, what we keep seeing from TSM. It can't just be Hanser with these leads, Eric. Facts. Other people need this gold. Other people need to be able to put damage, contribute in these team fights. And in a lot of TSM losses, the problem I see is that it's only Hanser with gold.
Yeah. And still looking to play towards this end is going to be Svenskeren trying to actuate that top laner. All this experience, old teammates working together will chase away Concept, and it's going to be more gold for Hanser onto this top side, getting solo time with his tower. Golden Guardians, however, they'll look for a response in the bottom lane, only getting a hard shove in as Rosethorn gets control of the bot side quadrant of the jungle.
It's not just a hard shove. They successfully dive this, Eric. I mean, you have level 6 Rosethorn.
Oh, Draku able to lock it down. Final Spark goes out. Draku gonna
Whoa!
away. Wild Turtle gets the kill, and the gank completely goes awry. Array, Prismal forced to run away.
Wow, big turnaround there for Wild Turtle and Dragu. Good use of the flash, and it means, you kind of get things going. What we were asking for comes true, where we get more gold on other parts of the map, and that fumble from Rosethorn and this bottom lane of Golden Guardians means that now Wild Turtle, Svenskeren, they get to get this wave in. Svenskeren still has the Rift Herald, so if dropped here, you get more gold in Wild Turtle's pocket, which I'm happy about, because if TSM want to be able to win this game, he needs some gold too.
And I thought for sure that was going to be a kill on Draku. I mean, they even got him on Skill Shot Alley, but this just turns the bot lane completely around right now.
Yes.
Shelly going down, that's a big influx of gold on this Varus.
It is, and honestly, now I just want to. We've been looking at gold a good bit, but I want to look at it again now, just to see the difference that just took place here. Remember, last time we looked, Array, Wild Turtle, even. Now, Wild Turtle is surely miles ahead, and we see the replay here on what went wrong. Array, low on mana, not able to drop too many skills, and the big thing too is not in a position to auto attack and take advantage of the lockdown onto drag through. So Wild Turtle's like, oh, he's not going on me. I get to auto attack. I get to throw my skill shots. This is wonderful.
I really need to see that again, but I think that was a mantra tether that helped Draku.
Oh, that's right, because you heal as well.
Oh, well, that conversation gets shelved with Draku's life, unfortunately. Prismal grabbing that kill. Unfortunate on the timing, but still, nice play nonetheless.
But look at the gold, where we got the flip here just to see what's going on, and Wild Turtle, all of a sudden, he's up.
Whoa.
800 gold because of what we saw bot side. This is an advantage that TSM can use for themselves. Second Rift Herald, now on the discussion for them. Second Dragon, also something that they'll be able to play for now that Wild Turtle is here contesting Array. Look how far back Array has to play.
I want to see them continue growing this gold lead, though. It can't just stop at here, and it can't stagnate at here. Because if we go to, like, the 30-minute part, Young is okay.
Yeah.
The fact that it stagnated. Young is busy tearing apart TSM by that point. Now Haunter on this top side, looking to grab the tower. We'll have to face 3 members of Golden Guardians, but has 3 in the back pocket. Concept tries to run away. Cyclone gets a knock-up onto Rosethorn, and Rosethorn will fall. Haunter grabbing the kill, looking for more. It's time for the monkey business. Who can spin better? Is it the Jax? Is it the Wukong? Tether comes out, roots down onto Concept. Prismal looking to body block. Make sure the Concept's going to be okay. Play works out topside for TSM. Just a slither health away from taking that turret.
And now they really started to run away with this game. And oh, Doxa. Goodbye. Unless?
That's a getaway. Get away. No. Let's not even risk it. Young's scary.
No, he's good. He's going to be able to get the recall off, but Young will be able to get that turret gold. I think, overall, now TSM are in a spot where they've got a lot of gold into their pockets. I mean, of course, we're going to hold on and actually see the replay here. It looks like something happened to Array. This is what I was expecting when I saw Doxa on the LeBlanc. These kinds of plays where, I mean, if you get on top of an AD carry, you're donezo. And looking at the rest of this play top a second time, Haunter doing a great job using the all-out to stay alive, buy time for the team. And even though they got 1, I mean, that's all the pressure they needed. Haunter picks up more gold. They end up taking the turret in the end, even after turret plates fall. And now, like we were saying, TSM, with this control they've gotten, second Rift Herald is theirs.
Kill onto Doxa still bodes very, very well for TSM being on this LeBlanc. You know, Doxa's always been that incredibly flashy player, very very high KP character. The problem that we've always had with Doxa is just he can't really do that on his own. Hasn't been able to push his lane into that state where he does get into that snowball space alone. So enabling those leads to get Doxa to come online is one of those win conditions that TSM can play towards, and it seems they're starting to get it, as they did focus and get that kill onto Array a little bit earlier. Doxa yet to fall. As the Luden's completed, a little bit more time, and Doxa will be a bigger threat.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big threat already. LeBlanc with Ludens, someone like Array and Prismal, if they're on the same screen, they're done. It's already over. So that's something that TSM can be playing for as well. Again, you don't necessarily have to be winning out on the front to back, although it puts a lot of pressure on Doxa. He has the ability to go over walls, use that distortion to avoid vision as best he can.
Ooh, Prismal getting caught out, but it's been scary.
Oh, is that a kill?
The damage, though. Cyclone looking to hop away. Follow through with Concept. Young will take down Svenskeren. Shreku trying to run away. Light Binding does not land, but it's not needed because Young will Rift Walk them all apart. A double kill picked up by Young.
Man, a lot has been going well for TSM, but I'm getting scared with how many kills Young has been picking up. You highlighted it. His Kassadin is unreal. We've seen examples of it over and over again, and the faster he accelerates, the more it feels like that he's going to run right over TSM. You're seeing the goal difference. He's still keeping ahead of Doxa. And that second item comes through at Seraphs with the tier fully stacked. Young is going to be a problem. He's already past level 11.
1k lead on his lane opponent. This next recall's coming through, Beat. What's he buying?
Probably Archangel Staff.
Outright?
Or at least...
Oh,
yeah.
Yep, it's outright.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big deal once the tier fully gets stacked, once the Roa is fully stacked. And I think we're getting to a point where there is a bit of execution that's going to make the difference for both of these teams. Of course, Doxa and Young are the players I'm looking at in particular because Doxa, playing LeBlanc, has the ability to kind of bypass frontline and pop the carries. Young on the Kassadin, who is already so fed at the moment here and can do so much damage as well. It's the battle of who can dive the back lines faster and better.
It's the old school snowball battle. And unfortunately for TSM, Young is snowballing harder. Just 3 minutes away from maxing out on the Roa. Not just that, but 4 levels away from becoming that late game Kassadin that could just tear games apart. TSM looking to work fast so they don't have to deal with that. Shelly over in the top side, a tower will fall. Transitioning TSM over to the mid lane.
I mean, this is a nice play. They drop the Herald, it guarantees them the tower, and as someone deals with it, they can just transition over to the mid lane. The wave is taken out of the picture, but someone does need to answer this Kassadin on the bottom side. Even though a good bit has been gained for TSM, you gotta be careful about giving Young solo time like he has been getting so very often here. As it's showing in the gold lead he has, it's showing in the experience that he has as well. He's the highest level in the game at the moment here, and that's going to continue to be a problem. As you highlighted, the Doomsday clock is running out.
So what do TSM have to do on the map right now? I mean, their zone control in 5v5 isn't too bad. You were talking about front to back, it is a little bit more trickier for TSM. Seems like backline Doxa, get him to find a pick onto Array or Prismal might be the best chance.
Yeah, you have a lot of range to play with too. Karma poke, you have Wild Turtle who's going the lethality build, so those piercing arrows are going to hurt as well. You can play away from Young and Array's effective range, and at that point it's buying time for your mid laner. And the fact that Hauntzer is still in a very strong position, and they have a lot to leverage in these fights as long as they make sure Young doesn't pick up any unnecessary kills. Now with Dragon as well, Golden Guardian's Soul Point, by the way, being the next thing on the menu, that's something they have to focus on right now. The advantages they have over the map is what's allowing them to do what you're seeing here. Push in as a unit, clear up vision, make sure nobody walks in this side of the jungle without TSM say so, and it's also going to cover a turret take.
It's not going to be Doxa. Hauntzer is another one to put your money on. Has been cashing in all game to be this complete brick wall of a front line for TSM. Yeah. 10 seconds, Dragon is going to spawn. TSM can stall out that win condition for Golden Guardians if they do want to head into that direction. And seems they will. Golden Guardians not even going to really contest for it.
Yeah, late game is what you really want, even though Array has been struggling, I think, so far this game. So it's okay for them to give up this Dragon. They can... Oh, Doxa.
Oh, Doxa, good sidestep from the Light Binding. That should be enough to get away. No, Fall Breaker!
Nope.
Flash from Rosethorn will not allow Doxa the time of day.
Man, that I think is a little bit of greedy pathing there, Eric, because this is Golden Guardians making a trade. It's for top camps for this Dragon that you're not too concerned about, but Doxa just ends up being the bonus here. You have to understand, with no contention on the Dragon, that top side is where Golden Guardians are placing themselves, so he gets punished for it. And it's just more gold into Golden Guardians' pockets, allowing them to very slowly crawl their way back into it.
It definitely felt like a moment of autopilot coming out from Doxa, but you got to watch the map. You got to keep those things in mind. So we take another look at it. Doxa, this is the wrong angle to cut. You got to know that Golden Guardians are taking your camps here.
Yeah, and at this point, it was easy. I mean, I don't even think there was any vision on Doxa, but it was just a perfect... I think it looks cool, so I'm here for it. And it was just a great catch-out from Rosethorn, excuse me, onto Doxa. So they get more than what they were willing to trade for that third dragon. So that's a big win.
Good for Golden Guardians as they try and close this gold lead that was picked up by TSM. A lot of it heavily onto that top side. Still pushing that top side, you know, taking a check-in over on Hanser. He is holding a lot of lane priority and a lot of control for TSM there. They haven't exactly given up the map just yet, but things are still getting worrisome. We're one level away before that doomsday clock of Young ticks to 16.
Yeah, I mean, Hanser is a side lane monster. Like, Cassante, 2-0. Look at the CS he's got. I'm pretty sure he can 1v1 anybody. Maybe even 2v1 if played correctly. So they have to be careful of that.
Oh. Svenskeren looking to go in, can't quite get Prismal, goes towards Rosethorn, gets the knock-up on Rosethorn, but too many tower shots could take him down. 200 health, escapes. Walking away empty-handed.
Look what's happening!
TSM, and Young will grab a turret in the bottom lane.
This whole game plan for Golden Guardians is just, you know, let's just make sure they don't take too much from us, and Young keeps picking up gold. You called it. He's level 16. He hasn't finished stacking the Archangel Staff yet, but he's getting there. Stopwatch is already up too, so this next dragon fight is likely where we're going to see these two teams butt heads, and where what we've been talking about is going to come to fruition. Doxa, 6 kills. He's only been part of 2, but in those 2 kills, we've seen examples of what he is able to do on this pick, and he's going to need to keep doing it, Eric. Get on top of someone like Array, Prismal. He does enough damage where you just immediately put the numbers in your favor. TSM have a good chance at taking more than just this dragon.
I'm scared. Young's terrifying.
Oh, he's terrifying.
Young
He's
is
3-0.
absolutely terrifying.
Those 3 kills came like 10 minutes ago as Kassadin. And if Golden Guardians come out on top, that's going to be a big reason why, realistically, because Young is just monstrous on this Kassadin pick.
And despite the lane, even being a melee mage, almost most CS in the game, second to only Hanser, Kassadin's been eating well. Been eating very, very well. Now wants to feed on dessert, which is going to be the lives of TSM. As TSM are setting up around this Baron area, though, getting a lot of vision control over here. Side lanes will be played by Concept in the bottom lane. Doxa over on the top side. This is where the threat always is poised. This pick and poke that we have from Golden Guardians.
Still, no action coming through just yet, but I like it from Golden Guardians. They're trying to make sure vision isn't easily acquired for TSM, because Golden Guardians, I think they're going to set their sights on this dragon that's spawning in a minute. You see Rosethorn, or Young, excuse me, who's just pushing topside and will teleport if necessary. But you want a lot of vision for TSM to go through before potentially trying to trade for Baron. So you're just making it so that nothing is going to go on in the map objective-wise without Golden Guardian knowing about it.
It's like a battle of the shot callers coming in. We're playing some chess right here, Beat. One side, Svenskeren, trying to provide that leadership role for TSM, but Prismal, the vocal one, over on Golden Guardian side. Each one trying to catch each other's mistakes in the macro game.
Right, and it's been back and forth. TSM, of course, overall have the aggregate advantage, but again, a lot of that is going to be on Hanser at the moment. Array, an item down as well, probably contributing to that deficit too. But now with those item changes, at least you feel that IE spike a little sooner, even though Wild Turtle is at that 3-item mark and still in a stronger spot. So at this point, oh my god, wait, they might just be setting up for a Baron.
Oh, okay, Doxa, good chunk of damage onto Rosethorn. About a third health remains for Rosethorn.
Oh my god!
Half the health of Prismal. That's a great start for TSM, and they're going to use it to leverage this dragon, starting it up. Hanser calling the rest of the team, moving down there. I believe the play for Golden Guardians was to try and bait out a dance between the dragon and the Baron, but the poke working out for TSM.
And it's been great. Wild Turtle, since he's been getting that lead in the early game, he has been a menace with those piercing arrows. So instead, it's just going to be the map play for Golden Guardians. Push out these side lanes, which makes it easier for you to... Oh my god. Okay, I think
so
he did...
Scary.
He's level 17, and he has 3 items. So with this map, with these moves, the side laners of TSM, the solo laners, are going to have to move and answer some of these plays, and it opens up this mid lane play right here. This turret should go down.
So terrified. I go to my closet and open it. Young's Cassidon's gonna be right there, level 16, waiting for me.
He's in your bedroom, Eric. He'll turn around.
Check underneath. Check for me, B. Check for me.
I can't. I'm not there.
But you're in CA, B. I'm in CA.
Yeah,
as well.
Canada, not California. Oh man.
Oh, I guess it's just my problem then. Well, for the moment, it's gonna be TSM's problem. So look at
Lord.
that gold lead. Oh my word, 2K ahead of Doxa.
Wow, Haunter's 3K up on concept as well. Like, you got a lot of gold leads for TSM, and I think they're where they count for the most part. Realistically, even with Doxa being behind, LeBlanc still functions the way we expect her to. So, again, we look at Doxa to be able to find these angles onto the squishy members of Golden Guardians, and Haunter is just going to brute force his way through the front alongside his jungler.
No, it's weird, because, like, I know TSM technically have the gold lead right now. Actually got to hold that Young, getting engaged on Cyclone, comes out, goes Golden, pops the stopwatch, looking for more. Ooh, cease and desist onto the back line. Since Garen can't stay up any longer, will get dropped by Rothorn. Here comes the teleport concept, waiting for the counter-strike stun, but will not continue the fight. Taking down the jungler was enough for Golden Guardians.
I mean, it's the good use of stasis. It's not going to turn into a Baron play or anything like that, but you pick up more gold, you're getting kills, and you're pushing TSM off your side of the map. They're trying to jock for position and clear vision out and set vision of their own, but it didn't end up working out for them. They get Concept's teleport, but now there's this opportunity here off the reset. Everybody's coming back, Eric, and it could just be Baron time for Golden Guardians because Svenskeren is still dead for 7 more seconds.
The call has been made. Ray can do it safely. That Caitlyn range really working out behind the Baron pit. More autos coming through, but TSM, they want to challenge. They want to fight it out. Concept, Roseland are starting to get low, so they'll challenge with the fight. Counter-Strike goes through. Flashing forward onto Wild Turtle. Wild Turtle going to live another leap strike.
He got him!
Down Concept, an absolute menace. Haunter chasing forward, wants Rosethorn. Pick down the pedals. Haunter will be able to get a kill. And TSM, what a back and forth that fight was. Golden Guardians, they do get the Baron, but TSM are not done. They want to make Golden Guardians pay. Ace in the hole goes out. Golden Guardians only going to lose their top side, a trade for Wild Turtle.
And Golden Guardians get their pay, Eric. You see them starting to narrow that gold lead. You get money up front from the Baron. Even though you lose your top jungle, go 2 for 1. That's worth. That's them narrowing the gap in what they've lost. And we'll see the replay here. And I like the position from Array, using the Caitlyn range to put in damage consistently this whole time. So you have Concept. His whole job alongside Young is running interference so Rosethorn and Array can just finish the Baron. Even with Haunter and everything he did, there was only one smite to contend with, and it's Rosethorn's. So of course he would secure it.
Both of these teams fighting tooth and nail around this Baron. I mean, the gold 2K ahead for TSM at what is almost 30 minutes right now isn't really that much, and we've seen who the highlight players are. We've seen how this battlefield does work out. At this moment, the Baron empowered push coming out from Golden Guardians, that's the only real leverage that they have for the time being. They will have to set up the map if they do want to get some work done with this Baron. But you can tell TSM still have a great amount of fight to bring, great amount of poke to bring.
It is true.
This has been a wild game so far.
It has been. It's been super back and forth, much better than what we saw in the first game, all things considered. And TSM, or rather Golden Guardians, they have made that push with the Baron. They lost 2 of them, but they still have it on Young, who's been on the split this entire time. Seraph's complete, by the way, so he's in a very strong position. And you still have, I mean, realistically, I think the maps are in a fine spot at the moment here. Now it's just going to be about that push for mid Ryo. You still have the mid tier 1 as TSM, and I think that has been the biggest thing for them here, and what's made it a little harder for Golden Guardians to contest the last 2 Drakes, because it's hard for them to push these waves in deeply.
TSM, they're itching for wins. They want to get more. Fight gonna break out. Prisma on the side gets the final spark through. Cease and desist lands onto Drake. One will fall. Cyclone goes out, getting the knockups, trying to scrap in this team fight and tear apart Golden Guardians. Stopwatch used, caught by the cupcake trap, a double kill found by a wall, and bringing in the headshot damage will be Action Jackson. Ace in the hole, Clone gonna block it. Doxa survives. but Rosethorn still continuing through. Blast Plant, other way. Doxa, you're far from home, and Young can chase faster. Will go on a rampage and spots the trophy. Gold is the color of the Guardians, gets a double kill. Young finds the ace.
And it's so big. Baron has expired, but the damage is done. Structures are going to be falling all over the place. Eric and Golden Guardians claim their prize. It is that Infernal Soul point. Rosethorn can get it himself. And we are finally seeing that comeback from Golden Guardians. They have swung the gold lead, and Young's looking for more.
Draku realizing Gassadin is nothing to mess with. Level 18, all the items maxed out where they need to be. Following through Golden Guardians, it's not just a team fight win, it's control of the map, getting all of your carries going, and a Drake on top of it.
And that's the soul point, Eric. One more, and the Infernal Soul is theirs. And there's nothing to fight for on the map. So if you're TSM, it's just about farming, back up, trying to get your side lanes in order, which is what we're seeing from the solo laners here. Haunter trying to push out that bot lane, but I think the damage is done for the moment here. TSM, they have to do their best so they can set up for this incoming Baron in about a minute 50 here. And if they can get that for themselves, they will be in a pretty good position. Also, getting word that there is a pause coming through. So it's us again. Hey.
Hello there.
Okay, Eric, now I can check your closet. Just you got to move the screen.
Well, that's not my closet. That's just my wall.
Then sorry, buddy, you're on your own there. If Young's in there, I'll miss you.
Scared. You got to help me. TSM should definitely be afraid because Young has been popping off in the later stages. I mean, it was 3 kills for quite some time. Now has moved up to 5 kills in the later half of that team fight. And with Golden Guardians just outright taking that last fight, it feels like all the chips are starting to fall for TSM. They don't really have too much left. They got to find something big very soon, B.
I will say, there's still the opportunity for the Doxa diff to come through because if you're playing LeBlanc, it's one of those champions where you can kind of break team fighting rules a little bit. And that's what I'm hoping to see, where you try to use the sweeper, get into these pockets of darkness and things like that so you can pop somebody, get that numbers advantage. Because so far it's Golden Guardians who are always getting these first blood in team fights, and it just snowballs into a win there.
Now, we are getting word of what the issue is. Concept, unfortunately, has disconnected and just solving that issue, so we'll get him back as fast as possible. Speaking of, I do want to highlight Concept's play. Concept is someone who does a lot of unorthodox picks. Was the big thing that we saw a lot last summer. Now going a bit more standard, you know, playing the Jax, which is kind of funny to me because when Concept was subbed out, it was Tony Top who was taking Concept's place. And just exclusively played Jax, so maybe bleeding in a little bit there, but doing pretty well in the Jax play. I think with the level of matchup that you had against Haunter when Concept hasn't been doing so well in the regular season, it's got to be a good breath of fresh air for Concept.
I think so. I think for the most part, I mean, I appreciate that he's learning the standard picks, not digging deep into his unique champion pool, at least for the moment here, because I think it's very clear what top laners are strong at the moment. And yeah, it has been a little tough for him here, but you know, you got to imagine it's a long road, it's a process, and he has been slowly looking better. I mean, if today is any indication, and I think overall, everyone on Golden Guardians are starting to really shape up, because I think talking to Array last week, he pointed out to me that the first week was a tough one for them. They didn't do very well. I don't remember their record exactly, but saying how it was a wake-up call, citing how much work they've been putting in ever since, and I think is really starting to develop. I mean, we're seeing things like Array, a player we question, not his team fighting capabilities. He's great at that. Playing from behind, laning phase, things he tends to fall short on, starting to look better. And Golden Guardians as a team, seeing these improvements, seeing Young just continue to pop off on this level, and how having the excitement we've had for him vindicated is also a great thing to see. It's just good across the board.
And they've been very purposeful with their play from what I've seen so far. You know, that game number 1, they knew exactly who to attack. They know Haunter has great laning. Let's dive Haunter early. Let's demolish the bot lane to make sure Wild Turtle's not going to be capable of pulling off anything early. It was a very smart game plan in that game number 1. It's great that TSM have come up with something better to try and match in this game number 2, but it still feels like this game is mostly controlled by Golden Guardians, even in the areas where TSM had gold leads.
At this point, Yeah, I think you're right, especially because of the overwhelming advantage Young has gotten on the Kassadin and how well Golden Guardians have been playing around it the entire time. Like, you have this lead. He goes 3-0 in like the first 15 minutes, which is already like insane. And they basically had the game plan where it's like, all right, we get the first 2 dragons. Now we can start to not pressure as hard for objectives. Now we can hang back a little bit, just minimize what we're losing, because Young is just going to be in the side lane, taking minions, taking turrets, just stacking his pockets with gold. Like, it's crazy how much he's been able to get and how little attention TSM have paid him in outside of the laning phase. And it's really starting to pay dividends now. They get the Baron. It gives them enough gold via turret structures to get them back in the game. Now Young is level 18, by the way. And like, looking really quick at our production feed, he is either tied with Haunter, who might be level 18, or he is the only one at level 18. 4 items in the game. He has a death cap. Like, he can carry this game.
I was about to bring that up. 1 item away from full build. I mean, you got the death cap. All your timers have now reached their maximum potential. Doxa, only 2 items completed, still working on that death cap. We are going to need a little bit of extra time to resolve this for Concept. So we'll take a short break, and technical difficulties, we'll work them out. Be sure to stay tuned, because we'll have our conclusion: Golden Guardians Challengers versus TSM Challengers. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
How's it going? You know, we were working through some of our issues, and we've got it settled out. Concept will now be back online, and we can get to the thrilling conclusion of Golden Guardians Challengers versus TSM Challengers. I know I can't wait, Pete. What about you?
I can't either. I mean, we left the game in like a pretty even game state, so things are looking pretty tight at the moment. Of course, TSM trying to bounce back after an unfortunate game 1, and we'll see if Golden Guardians give them that opportunity.
I said I can't wait. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we're back into the game. Ooh, look at this. Teleport coming through on the back end. Haunter's going for a flank on the
this could be big.
Rosethorn. This could be huge for TSM. Cyclones doing work, but Array will still trade 1 for 1. Able to get underneath the tower while Turtle will get some damage. It chases Array away, but Rosethorn in between 4 members of TSM.
Oh my God.
Damage found by Wild Turtle. Max range on the piercing arrow. But here comes Young. Can Young be the difference maker? They're going to try and make it happen. Golden Guardians using
They're buying time. Look at Concept.
Coming in. Concept looking to rejoin, but down goes Young. Concept will have the weight of the world on his shoulders and 4 members of TSM to handle. Running away. It's the wrong direction, Concept. You're not headed towards home. He's headed towards the opposite side. He's headed towards the TSM base. Will get caught by the tethers, and this is going to be done right now unless Concept will turn it around. Going after Doxa, he figured it out. He got the right clone, but Doxa with the fancy footwork will be able to slide on out. Concept's still alive though, Beat. Concept's still walking. We gotta walk in the park. This is a nature documentary right now. Let's see the ducks over on the side. Quack, quack, here we go. There's Mad Magical, but Concept still fighting it out. Will eventually go down to Dreku. Well, a little bit of a war right there, but Golden Guardians, they didn't get to the flank in a timely enough manner.
Yeah, we see Golden Guardians biting off more than they can chew, especially with a great play from TSM. Haunter coming in big with that backline teleport, and even though Golden Guardians get some things back in advance, like, it's still a great win here for TSM. Baron is up. Concept is still dead for 30 seconds. They can just beeline it straight to this objective.
Running right over. TSM, first one into the Baron pit, and they're starting it right away. Concept down, Golden Guardians. Pressure is on them. Ace and Hole gets blocked by Haunter. Young will have to do the performance of a lifetime, and ooh, Doxa's already getting damage onto him. Young has run low. TSM, fighting chance right now, looking for the steal. Rosethorn tries to edge forward, will not get it. Rosethorn falls, and TSM get the Baron.
It's big. They get 1 member of Golden Guardians in the process as well. Concept just respawning, and now Young is feeling himself. Level 17, has the Baron buff, has a death cap of his own, Eric, and this is what I'm talking about. Even being behind Young on the Kassadin, you do a lot of damage now, and we're starting to see that come through for TSM, as now we were dead even just a minute ago, And now we're 5K up. Oh my god.
Oh no, Young will get the chase. Chain of corruptions from Wild Turtle. Wild Turtle so clutch to save Doxa.
Oh my god.
It's enough to take down Young. What a play. Looking for more. Haunter will cleave right onto Prismal and rip him apart. TSM, 2 big pickups. Doxa will fall in the grand scheme, but 3 down is going to be Golden Guardians.
And I like this, they don't chase. They have the Baron, Eric, so they can just go ahead and knock on the base doors. There isn't anything they can really do to stop it. I don't think it's the end, but it's going to be that mid inhibitor. Maybe they can look for more, though. They still have a pretty decent-sized wave. A lot of ultimates coming back online here. The Chain of Corruptions. Watch Wild Turtle.
Yeah, this is too tough. I'm not sure if Turtle goes for this. He doesn't have flash.
Oh, he missed.
Gets on him. It's a really big picture right now, but Concept gets chunked out. Forced to walk away. TSM are not going to push their luck, though. They don't feel like this is the end. Dragon spawns in 40 seconds. They rather take the reset.
That's right. I mean, you back it up. You've put this base in shambles now. And now this mid lane is just going to be constantly pushing for you. TSM, they're firm control of this game, Eric, and that 3rd dragon will be theirs, all things considered. Like, they don't have enough vision set up, and that's really the only advantage Golden Guardian have, because you can see them kind of getting here first. They will be able to clear away some vision, and the face check. Oh my god.
Ooh, Wild Turtle landing these arrows. Golden Guardians, they have Young in the Dragon Pit right now. Young will be looking for that flanking play. TSM, they got to make sure they have a good vision line established. Getting flanked by Young would be devastating. It's going to be Dragon Soul right now. TSM, ooh, they're forced. They're forced to make a play. Dragon Soul has been taken. Haunter goes in, jumps onto Array. A lot of damage onto Array. Is it going to be enough to take down Array? No! Array survives and Young gets the shutdown. But Young might go for Svenskeren. Oh, on the flank is Concept. Spins around. So does Svenskeren to get the knock-up with the Cyclone Ace in the hole. Rings through. Lands on the Wild Turtle. Poke returned. Golden Guardians now have Dragon Soul. Doxa looking for more. Wants Rosethorn. Can't quite get him. But back and forth. One play goes well. The next goes awry. It is back and forth beat.
Yeah, we're getting to this point in the late game where the gold difference isn't even mattering anymore. Everyone's almost full build. And just looking at this here, the fact is they are zoned hard because the backline, you have to watch for Concept, who's level 18, but also you have your top laner fighting for his life. That indecisiveness costs a shutdown in the hands of Young, and they got to look for more in the process. And ultimately, Golden Guardians got the Dragon Soul. A big buff, a lot of stats given their way, and that could be the difference maker here for Golden Guardians.
And this is where we put your attention onto that mid laner, Doxa, once again. You know, Doxa is so far behind Young, still trying to find that next foot forward, slowly getting their way there. And with 1 item away from being at max build, Doxa has been able to catch up with Young.
And another thing worth noting too, stasis. We have stasis available on a couple members here. Crucially, Array has the stopwatch, so if Doxa gets on top of him, he should be able to at least buy time, if not survive. And Doxa also has a stopwatch for himself, so we could see a very aggressive play come through from Doxa, and hopefully it ends up successful for TSM if you're a fan, because you need him to keep doing what he's doing to put in this damage onto key squishy members. And at this point, Young is one of them, because Doxa, he's been able to hurt Young big time.
Doxa and Haunter, definitely the heroes of the flank for TSM. Or Golden Guardians. We're still waiting for that big Young play. Young is in position to have those pop-off moments, but TSM not allowing it, not allowing their backline just be wide open. The moment Young hops in, he's hopping into the Cyclone, he's hopping into Haunter, bashing you about, and it's made it so tricky for Golden Guardians to find a response.
It is difficult, especially when a lot of your damage, or a lot of the damage, is Wild Turtle with the poke. At this point, he's level 17, several items, a lot of ability haste, meaning that his piercing arrows is an insanely low cooldown. He can just keep throwing them out from range, and it makes it that much more important if TSM can get to these objectives first. Looking at what's coming up, it is Baron in 40 seconds, and if the game goes long enough, Elder Dragon. And that's what both of these teams definitely are looking for if the game goes that long, because it's the strongest buff. Golden Guardians have been finding themselves getting back into this game, but it's going to be tough. They need to get control back on this map.
TSM in the mid lane. They're waiting out timers right now. 20 seconds before that Baron comes up. And with TSM holding control of that Baron pit, that poke is so annoying to have to get through. If you're walking into Fog of War, there's a chance you're walking into a Piercing Arrow.
Piercing Arrow, Distortion, Ethereal. There's a lot of abilities on TSM side from range that you're very worried about face checking. But Baron is not something you can just let pass you by as Golden Guardians. So they're going to have to try and do something.
Ooh, Doxa.
I love this.
Doxa has a flank opportunity, and Array's walking into that direction. Doxa, will Doxa go for it? Doxa sees Array. Doxa goes over.
Oh, we can't even stop watch.
Array is gone. The Doxa diff has begun. But already a shutdown return. Rose Thorn will score it onto Wild Turtle. Marksman for Marksman. Doxa looking off away from Wild Turtle. Oh, Doxa putting in the tethers. Young still chasing. Doesn't have too much mana to work with. And Hanser can turn it around. Svenskeren on the opposite end gets dropped by Prismal. But Hanser wants to take the fight to Young. Wants to take the fight to the Guardians. Oh, what a swing. 2 for 2 both ways. It seemed like the play for TSM. They got Array, but they lost Wild Turtle, and it goes neutral.
No, I think that play from Doxa is the reason it goes neutral. Array dies so quickly, he can't even blow the stopwatch. So it's still available, but this is the danger that Doxa presents to the backline of Golden Guardians. A great flank, and this is what he needs to keep doing for this objective setup, and why I keep stressing TSM getting to objectives first is so dangerous for Golden Guardians, and it's something now that just happened. Golden Guardians are going to be even more aware of the possibility of some kind of Doxa flank. Someone's going to have to mark this LeBlanc lest he continue doing what he's been doing.
Absolutely. Close eyes on Doxa. Close eyes on this LeBlanc and what this LeBlanc is going to do on the map. Young already getting a positioning where Doxa was earlier. Award will spot him out. Doxa with the chase onto Young.
Oh, they want to keep going.
They're going for the Baron. Is this going to be the play for Golden Guardians? They are funneled in. Prismal Array over the wall looking for it. Oh, it is secured. Golden Guardians. They will grab the Baron right in front of TSM. A very decisive call. And it's going to pay its dividends. But now,
they're going
in. Oh, a big chunk. Svenskeren's dropped. Hanser still tanky, but how much more abuse can Hanser take into 4 of the Guardians? And Young will shut him down. Young still going for the back line, stacking up that Rift Walk. The rest of TSM down Hanser, down Svenskeren, will have to take recalls to defend what could be the death push. No, it's going to be the game-ending team fight from Golden Guardians, because they'll chase after Turtle, they'll chase after Draku, and after 43 minutes, they have found the damage, they have found the weakness in the armor, and they will take down TSM.
And it's just been inches for Golden Guardians, slowly but surely chipping away at the leads TSM have gotten for themselves. And it culminates in a 2-0 victory despite Doxa's best efforts here.
Nexus Tower number 2 falling. Great performance out of Golden Guardians. They came to play, showing the next step of their development. Second split for Array concept, bouncing back over on that top side. It all came together beautiful for the Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, it was touch and go during that second game, but a great addition to their record, getting 2-0 today for the weekend here. And I mean, it's just a great finish there. At least for TSM, we saw more signs of life in that second game. We saw a much better draft, but they just couldn't close.
Yeah, I mean, we saw those moments of Doxa looking for that potential that we've been, talking about for so long. Almost there, but you know who was? It was Young once again, 8-2-7 on that cast and bringing that big damage. A great display for both these teams, but congratulations to Golden Guardians Challengers. We're going to take a moment to throw it over to short break because we'll have Kangas on the other side with an interview with GGC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-series interview. I have Rose Thorn joining me after a victorious 2-0 day. Congratulations, Rose Thorn, big wins.
Thank you. Not the cleanest 2-0, but yeah, we take those.
Well, hey, I mean, a 2-0 is a 2-0, even if you don't feel the most confident coming after it. But actually, you know what? Let's get into that. You said before we get into the interview that game 2, yeah, it was a little shaky in the early game. It was a banger. I want to put you on the spot. What was going on with that Vi dive bot lane when you ult under turret before the wave pushes in?
Okay, honestly, I was kind of mind controlled. Like, my teammates were like, "We can just kill him if you press R." So I was like, "Okay, we'll press R." But I mean, looking back at it, it's pretty bad.
It was rough. I mean, notable, the Karma does have the empowered W, so was able to heal up a little bit more than you were expecting there. But yeah, all right. Well, outside of that, though, how do you try and like communicate with the team when it's in a comeback scenario now? Because game 2, it kind of was a bit of a comeback. You were in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was like we had 2 dragons early, which was pretty helpful in terms of stalling, and then our Kassadin was like doing really well in lane, and like he was able to farm pretty easily. But yeah, jungle bot top was like not going so great, so we'll just try getting everyone some items. Like Cassante is literally unkillable until Caitlyn gets some more items, so we're just permanently splitting and making sure like we don't get caught. And eventually, like we got Kassadin 16, we got Caitlyn some items, and then yeah, they also like overextended really hard, and that it was really important that we got to capitalize on that and just like stay patient. So yeah, I think those are like the factors that I like talked about and tried to remind everyone to like just play careful and like slow.
Cool. I love getting that insight because obviously in the game, different players have different communication structures. But you in particular, we were chatting a little bit also before, and your structure begins even before the game starts because it seems like you do a decent amount of prep work and kind of like thought process going into series. Svenskeren, as the jungler you were up against, has a lot of experience, and you've been around in the academy scene, the semi-pro scene for a while now. So what kind of prep work do you do when you know that you're going up against a jungler like Svenskeren?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to know like what kind of champions he's been practicing, like going to a solo queue, looking at like what champs he's been like having success on stage. Like we saw that he had I think 100% win rate on Sejuani, so just like making sure he doesn't get that champion. Yeah, and just watching VODs of like the previous games, and like we saw yesterday how they struggled to end, so it was pretty easy to stay like calm and like confident even when we're behind, because I mean yeah, they struggled to close against TL as well, and then I'm sure like this game feels like really similar for them. So
personally, as a player, when you see a trend like that, 100% win rate on the specific champion, how hard are you pushing in pick ban? Like, please, coach, ban away the Sejuani. Like, do you feel that you have a strong voice and strong opinions when it comes to things like that?
I do think it's like important to be objective. Like, who knows? Maybe those games are against like worse teams, or like he got carried. But yeah, like I was like when my coach was like, yeah, we should not let him play Sejuani. I was like, okay, like that's fair. Like he is pretty good at the champion, like he knows how it works, so yeah.
Cool. Well, I was playing a bit of a game for our halftime segment with the casters, where I was drawing some plays that happened earlier in the game, and then they were having to guess what the drawing was. I sent you one of them into your Twitter DM, so I'm gonna have you pull that up now, because I'm gonna show the audience what I drew, and then I'm gonna have you look at it and tell me what you think this is. Can you give me your best guess, Rosethorn?
Okay, I think the guy in the middle, the center, and he's holding a backpack is Kassadin.
Okay, yep. And what's going on? What's the context of this?
Well, I mean, he's clearly having the 4 other noobs in the backpack. The guy on the left has the lamppost. It's probably Concept.
I think you'll find that this is just the rest of the draft from that team. You nailed it on the head. Getting the Kassadin backpack. How accurate do you think that was a description to the last game? Because I drew this before the game end, and I don't know if it's necessarily true, but from your perspective, how much was the Kassadin the carry?
I think definitely from the gameplay perspective, Kassadin was the carry.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely put us in the backpack.
And how would you rate my drawing skills? Just because I gotta know.
Honestly, it's pretty good. Like I was able to tell like immediately. So
nice.
Like you can like after casting, you can become like an artist or something. It's not, yeah, it's actually pretty
casting.
Good.
Well, based on how I've been doing so far, it's probably gonna happen sooner rather than later. Thank you so much, Rosethorn, for coming on and chatting with us. Sorry that it had to be during your office hours, apparently with your background, but I'm happy that you're able to find some time for us regardless. Any final words you have for anybody at home watching?
Yeah, I mean, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for any fans who's like supporting us. We are gonna look to 2-0 again tomorrow, and you know, like we're just taking it one step at a time every week. So yeah, just keep watching us to win more games.
Rising up in those standings, and we'll be cheering for you along the way. Thanks so much, Rose Thor, and best of luck going into prep for tomorrow.
Thank you.
And with that said, we're going to send it to a short break before we're back with our second series of the day right after this.